When I was about 13 or 14, I figured out that it's not going to happen. I love to play football. I thought I will become a pro, like most kids do, right? But also at that time, I figured out I wasn't good enough, but I was also quite disappointed in the coaching experiences I'd received.
What made you think of starting a football club?
The first class I had something like 4 kids in a small kindergarten field. Yeah, from there it just grew organically.
And now it's grown I see all these kids and it's really grown.
The drive was to produce professional footballers. The drive was to win as many football matches as possible at whatever cost it came at, But I think the joy and happiness now comes from just seeing kids having a great time. Interacting with each other really positively, laughing, deeply engaged.
So you're also a pranic healer as well, and you're an instructor as well. So how did that come up? I mean, football coach, pranic healing.
Feels like a mismatch, right? We all have a physical body.
Yeah.
And we all have an energy body. Body is a vehicle of the soul. The emotions are the vehicle of the soul. The thoughts are the vehicle of the soul. The question is, where is the soul?
How much does that trauma affect you in your now, or maybe in the future if left unhealed?
Trauma plays a big role in how we show up in the world. A lot of us have what we call unconscious drivers, right? So we're driven to certain things in our life, but we're not really conscious of what's driving us to them.
Yeah.
The impact of trauma is that it disconnects us from who we really are, and drives us in ways which may not really be healthy.
Hi everyone, welcome to Life with Purpose. I'm Mira Shah, and Life with Purpose is all about discussions based on growth, on healing, on mindset, on manifestations, on living a life of purpose. And it's all just about that. It's all about creating that awareness. And today, my guest is a very, very special person. So my guest today is Sagar Lakhani. He is the CEO of Diamond FC and the Diamond Youth Football League. And it's all about creating pathways for young footballers to compete, grow, and thrive. Alongside his work in sport, he is also a certified pranic healer and instructor, helping people restore physical and psychological well-being through the science of energy healing. Amazing. Welcome, Sagar.
Thank you, Mira.
I'm so happy to have you here. You have no idea.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Most welcome. So tell me something. I'm really intrigued. How did the name Diamond FC come up?
So, when I started the club, it used to be called SAGS Soccer.
Okay.
And SAGS was basically my nickname. So when I was in school and high school and uni, people couldn't say my name properly. They would say things like Sagar and Sagar and all that sort of stuff. So the nickname became SAGS because that's what people could say. So the club got called SAGS Soccer. But inevitably, I wanted the club to be more than just me.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be important to rebrand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did this come up? How did you actually become the founder of SAG Soccer? So how did it come up? How what was that journey like? What made you think of starting a football club?
Yeah, so it's a story which probably started when I was really young.
Okay.
Right. So I was an avid footballer. I love to play football. I thought I will become a pro, like most kids do, right?
Yes.
Then when I was about 13 or 14, I figured out that it's not going to happen. But also at that time, I figured out I wasn't good enough, but I was also quite disappointed in the coaching experiences I'd received. So a part of me already 13, 14 was thinking about coaching. Um, so for instance, I was in a boarding school, and on Sundays we'd have movie night, right? And some of you who are my age or older may remember that there used to be this magazine called World Soccer. Okay, so there
Okay.
used to be a certain magazine called World Soccer, and you had to subscribe to it, and they used to ship it out from the UK every 2 weeks or something. So whilst all my friends and schoolmates were watching movies, I would be reading World Soccer and studying all these games and players and stats from all over the world. I was quite geeky that way. So, but I think there was just interest in coaching and studying the game from a really young age. I then studied sports at university. I got a degree in sports science.
Nice.
But interestingly, I spent more time and energy in university coaching a village team, voluntarily than I did in my university degree, right? So I think like the seeds were there, right?
So you'd already planted the seeds.
Sort of. I mean, when I was in high school, the dream in high school was to coach Liverpool,
Yeah.
and then to come back to Kenya when I was 60 and set up an academy. But so in high school, I would write letters to Liverpool and address it to the coach and say, I watched this game and I think this is what you should do. Like in hindsight, there was absolutely no value I added, but it was just it's just the behavior of someone who's ambitious in something, I guess.
Did you ever send those?
I sent the letters and I never got a reply.
Okay.
Of course, which I completely understand, right? But that's just how it was, right? Then I graduated from uni. I spent about 6-7 months working in the US for a football program.
Okay.
And then a part of me wanted to come back home. And I really didn't know what I was going to do when I come back. But there was a call or a pull back to Kenya. And so I came back and didn't know what I was going to do, and just trying to figure my way out. Getting into the school system was not as easy because I wasn't trained as a PE teacher. And the club system in Kenya at that time was really broken. So there's no pathway there. So I started a small club, a small Saturday club. I think the first class I had something like 4 kids on a small kindergarten field. And from there it just
Grew.
grew organically.
So how many years ago was this?
I was 2008. I think the first class I did was around April or May 2008.
And now it's grown I see all these kids and it's really grown. I think you've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
Amazing job.
Thank you.
So when you see all these kids playing on the field, what sort of feeling does it give you? Like when you see them playing and this is something that you've dreamt of doing. I mean, in a sense that when you came back, obviously you started it. So, and you've seen it grow. So what feeling does it give you?
It's mixed.
Okay.
In the ideal scenario is I see kids having a great time. And that fills me with great joy and happiness. And I think that's what drives me now. In my younger days, the drive was to produce professional footballers. The drive was to win as many football matches as possible at whatever cost it came at, But I think the joy and happiness now comes from just seeing kids having a great time, interacting with each other really positively, laughing, deeply engaged. That's the part that makes me really happy and keeps me going.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how important for you is it? Like when you see these kids, they're, when they're together, they're laughing, they're enjoying. So I'm sure as a coach, their physical being, mental, emotional well-being is something you also look at because it's like a holistic approach into them growing, not just as footballers, but also as human beings. So how important is that for you to be able to see them grow holistically?
Yeah, it's so crucial, right? So for instance, in our methodology, one of the first principles in our methodology is positive energy.
Yeah.
It comes before attacking principles, defending principles, before the physical development is positive energy, and that and part of positive energy is creating a space, a really safe space for kids, because if kids don't feel safe, then they can't be at their best versions physically, mentally, emotionally, collectively, and any level, right? So all these components really need to come in together, and positive energy is such an important part of that.
So, do you think it's important also to have talks with their parents to also make sure that, they create that safe environment, that safe space for them, even at home and not just on the football field?
We try to. We'll have a couple of programs for kids. We'll
Yeah.
have a couple of programs for parents. If we come across a speaker or a presenter who sort of whose values and vibes sort of line up with the club, we'll send memos to parents about certain things, like how to support on match days. That's a really important one, right?
Yes.
Because the emotional charge on match days is really high. But in general, I think in general the community we serve is pretty cool that way.
Yeah.
I think they're already quite proactive in providing the best
Okay.
experiences for their kids. So we're quite lucky that way as well.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear that. In fact, it reminded me of the time that my son would literally tell me, "Don't come for the game." He was like, "Don't come for the game," and I'd be like all geared up, and I was like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cheer, and he'd be like, "Mom, please don't come," and I'd be like, "Okay," But I do understand that part because as a parent, honestly, I always want to be there and I want to be my son's biggest cheerleader. And, look, at the end of the day, winning or losing, that's not important. It's the participation and giving your 100%. That's more important. And so sometimes I used to get sad that he'll be like, "Mom, please don't come." And I'd be like, "Ugh," I'd feel really bad. So I completely get it. But yeah, just to move on, I mean, when you're talking about energy, so you're also a pranic healer as well, and you're an instructor as well. So how did that come up? I mean, football coach, pranic healing.
Yeah. Feels like a mismatch, right? No, I mean, I think from my time in university, I was quite curious about the way things worked, right? And I would always ask questions about life and that sort of stuff. And I bumped into pranic healing quite coincidentally in 2010.
Okay.
I think 2010. A friend of mine was unwell, and the healing was helping him, and I thought, wow, this is really interesting. And those days we didn't have Amazon Kindle where you could find any resource you wanted. So I had a family member out of the country, and I said, go to the bookshop and look for any pranic healing book you can get, right?
Yeah.
And he managed to get a book, and I read the book, and yeah, it was like a homecoming. It was it answered a lot of my questions, and it felt like it gave me, or it felt like I was going back home, for lack of a better word.
So what exactly is pranic healing? For anyone who doesn't know what pranic healing is,
Yes.
what is pranic healing?
The basis is very, very simple. We all have a physical body.
Yeah.
And we all have an energy body.
Okay.
Okay, this energy body has been partially captured by technology called Kirlian photography.
Okay.
So they're able to some extent capture this energy field which is all around us. And the basis of pranic healing is that these two bodies are very closely related. The physical body and the energy body have a very close relationship. One affects the other. And so if someone has physical problem, it also means the energy around the place where they have a physical problem is affected. And so when you treat the energy body, over time, the physical body responds, right?
Okay.
So that's what pranic healing is. In pranic healing, we treat the energy body, or this energy field which is all around us. And in treating the energy body, we find that the physical body gets better, but not only that, the psychological state of the person gets better.
Okay. So when you say the energy field around you, so what about also within as well?
Well, this energy field is around us and within us, right?
Okay. So both.
So, for
Yeah.
instance, if you had a bucket of water and you had a sponge, if you put the sponge in the bucket of water, the water will be around the sponge
And
and inside the
inside the
sponge,
sponge. Yeah.
right? Because this body is more subtle
Yeah.
than our physical body. It exists inside and outside.
So do you think physical diseases actually come up? A lot of people actually just say that a lot of our physical diseases actually come when emotionally and mentally we're not at ease.
Yeah. Psychosomatic.
Exactly. So it's like the word, when you split it, disease is dis-ease.
Yes.
So do you feel that that could be one of the main reasons why we actually end up getting things like cancer, other serious diseases as well?
For me, it's not something that I feel. It's something that I've witnessed and experienced with the patients I've treated.
Okay.
Especially in chronic cases,
Yeah.
where we've been trained to treat the physical part, but we've also been trained to treat the emotional psychological part. And in many cases, treating the emotional psychological part greatly improves symptoms and greatly brings about physical healing.
Okay.
So in my case, it's the pattern has been seen so many times that it's not a feeling anymore. It's something I'm quite convinced about.
So we were actually having this conversation yesterday that our bodies are actually 70% water. And obviously, again, it's all to do with energy. So a lot of people actually talk about water manifestation. I don't know whether you've heard of it. So because our body is made out of 70% water, when we talk to the water and we drink that water, that's the water that's going through our body on a cellular level as well. And it's helping. So like how you said, energetically, when you're actually treating people on a physical level, it's also helping with the emotional and psychological part. So there was an experiment that was actually carried out by a Japanese physicist.
Oh yeah, Masaru Emoto.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, and when I was actually learning about all this, it really intrigued me. And, I was so taken by, how the the molecular structure of the water turns with, like, when you speak positive words, it's the same case with plants, right?
Yeah.
When you speak to the plants lovingly and positively, obviously they're going to grow well. Like mine flowered after 2 years. After continuously telling my plants, I love you, you're so amazing. So I think, like how you said, even at pranic healing, whatever energy you're putting out there to even your patients, whoever you're healing, it matters a lot what is coming out of you, right? So in terms of your own energy levels, how do you manage to bring up your energy levels and help yourself vibrate at a much higher level in order for you to be able to treat someone?
A couple of things, and this is very much part of my training in pranic healing.
Yeah.
There's certain meditation practices which we do. One of the most common meditations is almost like the bread and butter in the pranic healing system is a meditation called a meditation on twin hearts.
Oh, yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a really good meditation to improve your emotional and psychological state, and to allow us to experience the more positive and wholesome emotions.
Yeah.
But also to allow us to connect with the deeper part of ourselves much better, right?
Yeah.
Because I think if you want to transfer healing energy, then you need to have a certain connection with yourself, and so that the healing is authentic.
So, when you say certain connection with yourself, please elaborate on that.
Wow.
How
If
do you
if
really
if
become
you
authentic? How do
if
you
you
reconnect?
if you study a lot of the ancient texts,
Yeah.
for instance, they'll say something like, "You're not the body, but you're the soul."
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of the ancient texts talk about that, right? They say, for instance, the body is a vehicle of the soul. The emotions are the vehicle of the soul. The thoughts are the vehicle of the soul. The question is, where is the soul, right? And in some of the teachings by Master Choa, who is the founder of Pranic Healing, he teaches a little bit about what this soul is, right? And this soul being energy, which is fluidic in nature, right? And so that's what I mean. Connect with yourself. Connect with this part of yourself, which is a spiritual being, which is much wiser than this physical body, which is much wiser than this brain, right? So
Basically, no brain, no body, just the soul.
yeah, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, as simply as I can explain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us forget that we are more than the mind and the body.
yeah.
And that's the reason why this is, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, I think that's the reason why we go so much into negativity, that we don't realize we're much more than that mind and that body. And we actually allow our mind to take over. So rather than us being the master of the mind is actually our master.
From an healing perspective, we look at it slightly differently.
Okay?
So, whilst we have a physical body
Yes.
and we have this energy body, within this energy body, there are other bodies. We have what we call the emotional body,
Yeah.
the body which feels.
Yes.
The nature of the emotional body is to try and feel. The emotional body will feel unwholesome emotions because it satisfies it. Right? The
Interesting.
mental body will think unwholesome thoughts because it satisfies it. And it needs conscious training of higher energies to replace that.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if the nature of the emotional body is to feel sad and depressed and upset, then, for instance, by practicing the Twin Hearts meditation, by meditating on positive emotions, then over a period of time, it retrains your emotional body to think of more wholesome emotions, or to feel and experience more wholesome emotions.
So basically, above the line emotions. So things like gratitude, appreciation,
Love,
bliss,
joy,
love, joy.
happiness, patience, understanding, tolerance,
Yeah.
kindness,
Yeah.
gentleness.
Yeah. So, okay, let me take your take on this since you do pranic healing. Do you feel that a lot of us, we're like always in a rat race? We're not taking the time out to sit with ourselves and actually ask ourselves, who am I? What am I? What do I want?
I think so. I think so. I don't think it comes from a bad place, because a lot of people are in that what you call a rat race because they're trying to make ends meet for their family. People want to have a better life. People want to have a better life for their families. But I think once you get in that cycle, then it's very easy to justify some of those things. But I think it takes considerable effort to to observe what's actually happening.
So, do you feel that, like meditation, for example? Look, I know that life is tough, right? At the end of the day, for everyone, life is tough. It may be tougher for others than, I mean, for some other people than others. But just this thing about quieting your mind with meditation will help you. It will actually help you think with more clarity. And it will bring about the results that you really want rather than sort of, go into this life of burning yourself out, tiring yourself out, things like that. At least it'll give you more, even in terms of energy as well. You'll be higher on energy as well. Do you feel it helps? Do you feel meditation helps in that way as
Yes,
well?
but I would not. I think it's quite easy to encourage people to do meditation,
Mm-hmm.
and I think for a big percentage of the population, it'll add value.
Yeah.
For many people, meditation could could be detrimental
Mm-hmm.
because when you practice quietness and stillness, uh, what happens is deeper levels of your subconscious start becoming or become accessible to you. You start
Yeah.
becoming aware of deeper levels of yourself, and sometimes getting help to process those things is required.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So,
So what if somebody tells you I can't meditate?
well, most people say they can't meditate because they say when I close my eyes, my mind starts running, which is completely true, and which I subscribed to before I learned the meditation I learned in the Pranic Healing System, which is a Twin Hearts meditation.
Yeah.
Now, the reason their mind starts running is because at that moment in time, if someone could see energy and they saw their aura would be filled with thought forms and emotions.
Yeah.
So these energies, emotional energies and mental energies, are in the aura. So it's difficult to practice stillness. But by practicing one of the steps in the Twin Hearts meditation uses a blessing component,
Okay.
right? So what happens is the person sort of blesses or takes some time to wish good on other people, to wish good on the earth, mostly using the prayer of St. Francis. Now, in that process, what happens is it's like a flushing effect. So that process flushes out to some extent the emotions and thoughts which are in the aura. And then after that, when you relax and you try to practice stillness, it's much easier to practice stillness, right?
Wow.
So the most meditations try to go straight to the stillness. And that is really hard.
It is.
But if there's a practice before to sort of purify your emotional body, to purify your mental body, then it's possible to experience longer stillness, and enjoy the stillness.
Ah. Now understood. I think you're absolutely right because when I started meditating, when I'd go straight into it, I mean, the amount of thoughts that would be going on in my mind is like I wouldn't be able to actually concentrate on the meditation.
meditation.
It would be like my mind would be all over the place,
Yeah.
and I'd keep on having thoughts, and then I'd go into those thoughts, then I'd come back again, go back, come back, and I was like, ugh, this is becoming so frustrating, yeah. But then when I started doing gratitude before, so I'd do like a Ho'oponopono prayer, and then I'd say sorry and say thank you and I love you. And after I started doing that, it made it easier for me to get into meditation and focus just on that and nothing else. So, like you said, that stillness, that calmness then comes because it's all, when you start practicing gratitude, it's all about, and when you're saying the four statements, say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you, you're forgiving yourself, but you're also saying sorry to whoever you may have hurt. And then you're saying thank you, not just to yourself, but everybody else. And you're saying I love you to yourself and also everybody else. So I think that brings that calmness into you automatically.
Yeah.
And then you go into that meditative state. Oh, wow, this is so
Those
amazing.
those four statements or words have a purifying effect
Yes.
on the emotional and mental bodies.
Yes.
Especially the part of saying sorry and the part of forgiving.
Yes.
Because the the built up resentment
Yeah.
is a cause of major problems in many people's lives, which actually
Definitely.
manifests into physical problems.
Yes, I completely agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is so amazing because I never knew what pranic healing was exactly about. Could you do like a small demo or
What
something?
what I suggest we do
Yes.
is we do a demo of trying to feel energy,
Okay.
right? Because then what can happen is people who are watching at home can
Also try it.
can try it,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so the first thing is let's press the center of the hands. Okay,
Both sides.
both sides.
Okay.
Okay, just press the center of the hands a few times.
Okay.
Okay, try and smile as much as you can, and everyone at
Okay.
home, smile as much as you can.
All right.
Fake it if you need to.
I
Okay,
think for me, it just comes naturally.
yeah, press the fingers like this.
Okay.
Okay,
That's interesting.
yeah. Now, what I want you to do is place your hands like 2 inches apart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, connect your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Now, just relax and inhale and exhale slowly. That's it. Okay, so we're gonna take our time with this. Okay, so close your eyes. Inhale and exhale really slowly. And just be aware of the center of your palms. Make your palms really light, like a feather. Now, what I want you to do as you inhale and exhale, just slowly move your hands apart and then bring them together. Then apart and together. Continue to breathe. Continue to be aware of the sensation on your palms. Now, let me ask you, what do you feel between your hands?
It's like a ball of energy.
It's like a ball of energy, right? Or so there's some common experiences people have.
Yeah.
Number one is a sense of pressure. It's like you're feeling pressure. Some people get heat
Yeah, I
between their
got that
hands.
as
You're
well.
feeling heat between your hands.
Yeah.
Some people get like a whirling sensation
I got that
on
too.
their hands. Wow, so you got all three.
Yeah.
Bonus. Right?
1 + 2.
But basically, what we did in this short practice
Yeah.
is feel the energy between our hands. Right? So
Yeah.
that's just a really good starting place.
Oh, yeah. So, in fact, I actually remember doing this. But there's something I wanted to ask you. What's the significance of putting your tongue up?
Okay, so it's like this, huh? Um, from an energy perspective,
Mm-hmm.
we have what we call meridians
Yes.
or energy channels.
Yes.
Okay. If you've seen an acupuncture chart,
Mm-hmm.
you see all these lines on the person. You may be wondering, what are all these lines? These lines are energy channels or meridians. They are pathways for energy, prana, chi, ki, to move through the body. We have a major energy channel on the front. We have a major energy channel on the back. When you connect your tongue to the palate, the two energy channels connect.
Oh, so the front and the back.
So it completes the energy, this front back energy channel in the body.
Ah.
It's just like turning on a light and turning off a light. When you
Okay.
turn off the light, it's like the tongue is just hanging. When you turn on the light, the connection is there. So it's like you put your tongue to the palate. Now, very interestingly, some nurses have reported that when children are born, they actually have to clip the tongue down. So it's like the tongue is
Already up.
already stuck to the top of the palate, and then they have to like clip it down.
Wow.
So it's just something natural in the body, which is so simple, but it has a positive impact on the energy flow in our body.
Oh, wow. Because, yeah, I mean, this is something I never knew. And what you're saying with the kids, I mean, that's amazing because, I mean, I wouldn't have even known that this is actually something that happens.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the meridians, because there's something I do which is called emotional freedom technique, which is EFT called tapping as well. So obviously they also talk about the meridians and all the different points is actually to release any sort of negative emotions in any of those meridian points. So it actually does make sense. I think a lot of these things are actually all connected.
Yes.
So do you believe in manifestation?
Yes, but it depends on how it is presented.
Okay, explain.
I'm a little skeptical of a lot of the new trend, new age manifestation practices people use. Right?
Okay.
But but I, but I do believe that thoughts repeated over time do tend to manifest, right? So repeated thoughts, repeated emotions have a chance of manifesting.
Because it becomes a belief in you, right? A strong belief.
Well, it becomes a belief in you, but there's certain energy sequences which I probably can't share here. Okay.
Okay.
There are certain energy. There's certain things that take place in the energy world for manifestation to take place.
Yes.
And the start of that is both imagined or visualized end products, but also spoken word.
Yes. Because there's an alignment with both. Obviously, if it's misaligned, then it doesn't work, right? Oh, wow. Amazing. I mean, I really learned something new because I also was trying to get to know what pranic healing was all about because I've done Reiki, but I've never done pranic healing. So, no, it's really, really interesting for me to learn all this and, your journey as well. I mean, going from a football coach and also doing pranic healing, it's amazing to know that, a lot of people now, and I don't know whether you agree with me or not, but a lot of people now are actually going towards that healing path. So going more towards spirituality. I don't know whether you agree with that or not.
I think it's possible because, I mean, we're seeing more conversations around spirituality and around healing. Um, and I think part of that is also got to do with the suffering people are experiencing and not finding solutions in physical solutions.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's getting people to question and then to seek something more.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you one more question. Let's go back onto the football field.
Yeah.
So, say after say the team has finished playing their game and, they have these competitions, these matches that they're playing. After they've finished and they've sat down and you have a talk with them, what is it that you ask them or you speak to them about?
It's usually not the best time to speak as a coach because at the end of the game, two things happen. Either they're really upset because they've lost,
Yeah,
or they're really happy because they've won.
yeah,
So they're basically just really emotional. So I usually try not to say too much after a game.
Okay.
Sometimes if I have to, I'll try and bring it up. But usually the best time to talk is at the next training session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a game is not the ideal teaching moment.
Okay.
And they're usually quite tired.
Yeah, they are.
Right.
So you let them.
they're physically tired.
Yeah.
They're emotional. They're quite emotional. Not the best time to learn.
Yeah, exactly. No, true. So you let them sort of sit with whatever they're feeling emotionally
Yeah.
until the next training session.
Yeah.
So when you start, then what do you start with?
Then you try and address whatever you felt needed to be addressed, whether
Yeah.
that is a mental component, whether that is a technical component, whether that is a tactical component. You do that, and this is the thing, right? Like, this is why I love sports, because I think sports teaches you things which classrooms don't teach you.
Perfect. I
Right.
like that. Yes.
For instance, the capacity to experience such high emotional states and such low emotional states you never experience in a classroom,
Yeah.
but you experience them in life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The 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 pressure where you have to keep bouncing back, you don't get that in a classroom,
Yeah.
right? So you build resilience. So this is the way I see it. I don't think what I say constantly to the kids is the most important thing. I think the kids getting exposed to the right environment over a period of time is much more meaningful.
Yeah.
For instance, I don't think I can go and give some magical formula, magical talk to the kid, which transforms and builds this crazy mindset. No, I think the kids who get that are kids who played sport or been exposed to these environments over a prolonged period of time.
Of time.
And I think and I've seen it. I see kids who've been involved in sports for a long period of time. There's something different about them. There's something different about the way they carry themselves.
Even in the outside world,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. It absolutely carries. And I came across a research paper. For instance, they found that something like 80 to 90% of Fortune 500 company leaders played competitive sport over a period of time in their life.
Yeah.
Now, that is not the only metric of success.
Yeah.
That's just want to clarify that. That's just one metric of
Yeah.
success.
Otherwise, you'll have somebody
Right.
coming with a.
Yeah. But it's just a research which is out there,
Yeah.
which says quite a lot.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I agree with you because I've actually seen live examples of a lot of people that I've come across. One of them is my son. Um, but I've seen a lot of people who play sports and just the way they are out there, even in the world and the way they carry themselves is different. It's just different. Like, just to give you an example, I love tennis. So one of my favorite players is Roger Federer. And just the way he carries himself, the way he is, like again, you said, energetic body, his aura is just amazing, and it's somebody I'd like to be around. So I completely agree with you over there. But no, I mean, it's so nice to have this conversation with you. There are so many things that I've learned. Like, I've learned what pranic healing is all about. I've also learned about how important it is that for children to have a good mindset and that safe place to be themselves. That's one of the most important things for them to actually grow holistically, physically, emotionally, psychologically, mentally.
Yeah.
So I think this is very important for a lot of parents to actually know that how important it is to have that safe place for their kids,
Yeah.
whether it's inside or outside home. It makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
And one more last question I wanted to ask you is, which I forgot, was in terms of trauma. Please tell me something about that, because a lot of people feel that, when you have sort of, say, childhood trauma, or, there's certain wounds like inner child wound, father wound, mother wound that they may be holding on to. Okay, I know that's all the past, right? You need to focus on now and the future. But then how much does that trauma affect you in your now, or maybe in the future if left unhealed?
This is a really deep question.
Oh, God.
I think to answer this question, I have to refer to one of the greatest trauma specialists in the world, whose name is Gabor Mate, right? And he said something very interesting. He said the Buddha said, that with your mind you create the world. So whatever's in your mind, that's how you see the world. Uh, if you've had a good upbringing, to keep it as simple as possible, if you've had a good upbringing, you see the world through the lens of beauty.
Yeah.
If the upbringing was painful and hurtful, then you see the world through that. All right. But then he also said something very interesting. He said, in the earliest part of your life is when your mind is built, right? So those early experiences shape your mind and inevitably shape your worldview, right?
Yes.
So a lot of us have what we call unconscious drivers, right? So we're driven to certain things in our life, but we're not really conscious of what's driving us to them,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's the impact of trauma. The impact of trauma is that it disconnects us from who we really are,
Yeah.
and drives us in ways which may not really be healthy, right? So addictions, whatever addiction it is, food, drugs, work addiction, which is so common now, right?
Yes.
Is driving. So we're driven to it, and it's not a healthy drive,
No, it's not.
right?
Because it burns you out.
Exactly. So, I think trauma plays a big role in how we show up in the world, and I think the goal is to try and figure out and become more conscious of what our drivers are, so that we could actually figure out if it's wholesome or if it's coming from a place of pain or hurt.
No, thank you for that. Because, a lot of us, like for instance, me, I'll tell you about myself. I think when I was growing up, I didn't really understand what I was going through. And I never really went through therapy because I was bullied in school when I was small. And that sort of impacted me. Like, I was also bitten by a dog when I was 3 years old. So there was a lot of trauma I was carrying.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, you see, at that time, there was nothing like therapy and things like that. But I held on to that trauma until now. So my healing journey actually started 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, I mean, like I said, a beautiful life, everything's perfect, nice, no problems at all. But for a lot of people, they've actually been through this trauma, and bullying has become a big thing right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important for parents to be aware that healing, going for therapy, just in case their kids are going through these things, is very important.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that we had this conversation.
But I think we also need to add one more thing to that.
Yeah.
Not everything bad that happens is traumatic,
That's true.
right? So, for instance, if I was having a cup of coffee, and for instance it spilled and hit the floor and it made a mess, it's not a traumatic experience. But now you hear people saying, my coffee fell, I'm so traumatized. So I think we have to be careful not to swing the other way either, right? There are life experiences which are really unpleasant.
Yes.
We shouldn't have to go through them.
Yeah.
In an ideal world.
Yes.
But we're far from ideal.
True.
And then they're just experiences we go through because it's life. And, they're not really traumatic.
No, they're not. Especially not a coffee fall. Oh, come on.
Yeah. So going through bullying, consistent, repetitive, emotional hurt and pain by someone else done consciously. That's a traumatic experience.
Yes.
Right? Because that happens over time. It leaves an imprint in the way you feel about yourself. And the way you see the world.
Definitely.
Right? For the person who's being bullied, the world is not really a safe place.
Yes.
Right? And so what you carry with you is a sense of vigilance in the world.
Yes.
Right? You
definitely.
go to a new place and new people, and
You scan everything.
oh,
Yes.
I think they say your nervous system is heightened.
Oh, yes,
You
definitely.
you look for signals which give you hints that I shouldn't be there.
Yeah. So again, it's three things at the end of the day. When your nervous system heightens, so you're either in flight, fight, or freeze mode.
Exactly.
Either one of them, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, no, thank you so much, Sagar. It was so lovely to have you, and obviously like experiencing a little bit of the pranic healing. But no, it's been an amazing experience. Thank you for being my guest today. I really appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. That was a really nice conversation, and that was a good choice of color for the football. So
Yes,
those who
definitely.
know will know.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Sagar.
Thanks, Mira.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. And until next time, take care. Bye bye.